First News Keeler in the morning. We're broadcasting on spring break week live from Orlando, Florida. And Christine, it's the first time I've done this, but I'm doing what you've asked me to do over and over again, and I'm doing it now. I am doing a Facebook Live.
Awesome.
Is that what it's called?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And, well, I don't like doing them because I've just put on weight and I feel so fat. And I hate doing them. But I'm doing it now. And as you can see, if you're looking at this on my Facebook, which is Bill Keeler 1, it shows the lobby. I'm going to show you up. Can you guys see it? Are you able to see this?
No, because we're on the WIBX Facebook page, and Jeff Manasky is getting ready to do a Facebook Live, too, I think.
Oh, I don't know how you would even see it.
And Bill, don't go saying you're fat. All you got to do is say the camera, Facebook Live adds a few.
It does add a few pounds.
Yeah.
And it's these 17 steps a day I'm taking down here that's pretty impressive. All right, Legal Lease was on just a second ago talking about the car chase. Harry is on with a comment on it. Harry, go ahead. You're on the radio.
Harry, go ahead.
Hi, Harry. Go ahead. You're on the radio.
Okay, Bill, I just wanted to make a comment about that high-speed chase there. I think the Fox News gal, I don't know, they tend to dramatize over and over and over again. She's talking about he was driving at 90 miles an hour in the cemetery. Was he really driving that fast in the cemetery? Or I'm not saying he should have pursued at 90-some-odd miles an hour anywhere, but I mean, you pass people on the thruway, or people pass me on the thruway going, 80 miles an hour. And,
sure.
Maybe at some point, maybe they got a APP and were getting to a destination, and they're, it showed that they were in pursuit going that fast. But in a cemetery, I don't think anybody was going 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you could go 90 miles an hour. I mean, I'm picturing cemeteries that we have. I just don't know how you could go 90 miles an hour in a cemetery. I guess it's possible.
But closed-off road.
But listen, Harry, I agree.
Go off the road at 35, 40 miles an hour in a cemetery and end up in a pond. But, I mean, you don't want to send a message, too, that, if you steal something, just go drive like a bat out of hell and nobody's going to pursue you. I mean, I realize they shouldn't be pursued at that rate of speed, 90 miles an hour, but by the same token, it's not like they can't not pursue anybody.
Listen, I'm with you. I get it. And there's two ways of looking at this. Your dad would have said, right, what the hell are you doing stealing a car and speeding for? On the other hand, police officers kind of have to weigh it. She went way too long on that story anyway. I wanted to get to the other stories, but it is what it is. Harry, I appreciate the comment on that. Good stuff. Thanks.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Coming up before we get out of here, I'm still going to give you a chance to win the Comets tickets and our free money question of the day. We are doing the Facebook Live thing right now. Christina, hey there. I'm just responding to some comments. Mark Montgomery. Yes, it is hell, Mark, being down here. Very, very tough. Bud says, waving to you from Tampa. I'm actually on the air in Melbourne. All right, that's really cool. And John has just joined as well. So this is kind of a cool thing. I've never done it before on Facebook, but I'm doing it now. And here we go. In studio right now, in our back home studio, is Trooper Jack Keller and Trooper Natalie Bocchino. And we're talking about this case, which is, how many years? It goes back to 1958, right?
Correct.
And this was a cold case. Has now been reopened from 1958. And did it reopen because you guys have additional information? I mean, how did this come to be?
Well, we started this. We actually launched. It's called Cold Case Tuesdays because we now have the largest, most likes for state police in the country. So we sat down and decided that we have the possibility of reaching more people. So we're using and launching this new Cold Case Tuesday program to generate hopefully more leads on these type of investigations. So Troop D, this is our coldest case, if you will, back in 1958. So we are hoping that, realizing it is almost 60 years, that hopefully we can generate some leads, somebody who may be out there that has been withholding information for fear of getting arrested or more or less just didn't want to get involved. This could generate possibly some new leads.
Good time for someone to get something off their chest if they've got...
Yeah, I mean, we've run into cases, and you've heard, I'm sure, in the country where people just before they pass on, they want to, the conscience has been bothering them. They want to have a clear conscience and soul, so they decided, I've been holding this for so many years. So this is our cold case that we're kind of profiling for this week, but we have a few of those, and we're going to be doing this every troop. We'll be doing this every Tuesday on our Facebook page, so we're hoping that it generates not only for this case, but maybe other future cases.
I'm assuming that as time goes on, people have less to lose by coming forward. I mean, you got to be thinking somebody knows something.
I'm sorry?
That people have nothing to lose after so many years.
Well,
and I'm assuming over the years somebody knows something, and you're hoping that person might come forward.
Exactly. And one of the things that people may not be aware of is that homicide, murder, is one of the only or few cases that there's no statute of limitations. Sometimes people get involved in robberies, and you'll hear about larcenies. There's a statute of limitations how many years before prosecution is no longer available. On homicide cases, there's no end. So certainly we hope that people are aware that, we are still investigating this case, and we're hoping to bring closure, if anything, to this family. So I'm sure there's family members still involved and still want to know if we're still working the case, and also if there's possible leads out there.
All right. If somebody does know something, they should obviously. How do they move forward? Just call state police?
Yep. We are hoping that if anybody has something to share with us, we have our major crimes unit available in Oneida at 366-6000. And our communications dispatch will direct you right to the right person, and certainly any information, whether they think it's small or not important, we would rather hear from them than for them not to call. So we hope somebody will call us.
And I wanted to switch gears quickly, if we could. If you could talk a little bit about what's going on in Frankfurt with this case, with the mayor that was recently arrested. What can you tell us that we don't already know?
Well, we are still investigating. At this point, we have those signs that we have a number of, I believe, 111 that were taken into evidence. It's determined that they were different types of signs. People were asking, what type of sign exactly. Well, there were stop signs, there were yield signs, there are some that are just generic, detour signs, stuff like that. But there's a process. In other words, people were asking, well, wouldn't the village get them anyways? Well, there's a certain process that they do in order to get these signs placed in the village. So, he was taking them from his location in Herkimer and basically giving them to the village to put up in the village.
I said this yesterday or maybe the day before, and I don't know if you can comment on this, but it always seems in stories like these, there's more to the story. Would you say there's more to the story to this, or is it just basically cut and dry here?
Well, you never know. Certainly, we have taken some follow-up calls and some interviews, and when people tend to hear these type of calls, they may tip us off on other cases and involvement in other things. So, certainly we have the case still open at this point, and but at this point, that's pretty much all we can share regarding this investigation.
Got it. Okay. And, I'm not in the studio, and I believe that Trooper Bocchino, I have completely ignored you.
Well, we were just wondering, we thought when you said Orlando that we were being invited to the Orlando studio.
Well, you should have been. I asked Christine to have you guys come down here. I've got the bagels ready and everything. We're ready to go here.
It's all my fault.
Well, I hopefully next time I would be up earlier to get on that flight to get to Orlando for your show.
Easy flight down here, and the weather is slightly a little warmer. So, Trooper, thanks so much for your time. Trooper Natalie Bocchino, we'll get you in next time. Thanks so much for coming in, though.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Listen, we'll break here and come back and give you a chance to win our free money question of the day. Comments, tickets as well. I am doing this thing up on Facebook Live. A bunch of people joining in.